Okay. So it is 5:15 on Monday, June 24th, so I'll call to order this meeting of the New Ulm Human Rights Commission. The first thing on our agenda is the approval of minutes from the previous meeting, which is May 29th. So if everybody wants to take a look at those, let me know if you have any questions, comments, or changes. Anybody have any questions or comments? If not, I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
Make a motion to approve the minutes from the May 29th meeting.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All right, all approve, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, so that motion passes. Next is the budget report. We just need to review the monthly report, so it is also attached. You'll see that we have 29, 37, 32 left in our budget, so about 48%. We did order the additional yard signs, and that hasn't come out yet. That'll be a couple $100. And then we're going to make a motion in the events committee to take some of that money and use it for some additional items for the parade and stuff. But otherwise, we don't need a motion on it. Does anybody have any questions about the budget? Okay. That brings us to the events committee report. So the first event is the Ginny Walter speaking engagement. She was here at our last meeting and she just kind of review what we were looking for as she was speaking. The next thing we have to do is nail down some dates. I have not heard back from her. I sent her an email about 2 weeks ago and haven't heard back. I circled back today. If anybody has, I feel like maybe you had her cell phone number. Can you give that to me again? Because I don't know if I have the correct one. I'm just struggling to we just keep kind of passing each other. So I will work on getting a hold of her in the next week. And then hopefully at the next meeting, we can put it back on the agenda and pick a date. So the next thing I need from her is just dates that work in August, and then we'll need to plan that event. And then the next thing is the Bavarian Blast Parade, which is Sunday, July 21st at 12:30 p.m. We have registered because we voted to participate in that event. We did meet, the events committee met before this meeting. So what we're going to do is we're going to send out a Google document for people to sign up for this event so we know who's coming. One New Ulm was also interested in partnering with us. Casey's not here, but she is at contact with that group. So we'll coordinate with them so that we have enough people to walk in the parade. The one thing that we need, because usually we use Janelle's vehicle, is a vehicle. So does anybody have one that we could use or know of one that we could ask for? Because the parade will be between this meeting and next meeting, so that's something we need to work out. I feel like, I think I could probably use my mom's vehicle. I have a van and it just won't. I don't think it'll work really well, but I could ask, my mom might be able to let me use her little SUV. Why don't I ask her? And if that does not work, I'll circle back and have Lisa send an email looking for an additional vehicle. Is that okay with everybody? Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'll do that. So the Google Doc will come out, and then we talked about, we have enough stickers, bookmarks. What's the other thing? Signs. But the other thing that we met on is just discussing, we wanted something else that we could give out at the parade and the National Night on the fair. So our proposal is that we allot $600, and we're going to look at either little stress balls or little footballs to order with our logo on it to hand out at those events. So we kind of looked in there around $1 each at different places. Casey's going to call around and kind of get an estimate and make sure we can get them in time. But we would need a motion to approve that $600. We went with up to $600 just so we had a little wiggle room because they're around $1, so we might go a little bit over. So that's what we're asking from the events committee, so that we have something additional to pass out at these events.
We'd also mentioned lip balm.
Yes,
We're
so,
looking at
yes, so lip
between
balm
those.
too.
Yeah.
So we're gonna pick one item that's around $1 that we can hand out. So first that was some sort of ball, otherwise the lip balm, that's kind of in a little thing. Any questions about that? Would we have a motion to approve? Okay,
I motion to approve the expense.
all right, do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Okay, so that, all approved, say aye.
I
Opposed, same sign. So that motion passes, so we'll work on getting that done so we can get the items by the 21st, and we will get that Google Doc sent out so we know who's participating in what. And then I will make sure we have a vehicle, and if I don't have a vehicle, I'll reach out and see if somebody else. All right, so then the next event is New Ulm Night Out. That is Thursday, July 25th. We did register for it. That again will be on the Google document, and we'll have all the items available. So once the document goes out, if you're able, you can sign up for that event. We only need a few people, so probably 2 shifts, 2 people per shift. I think we're breaking it in half. So we'll send that out. Any questions about that one? Okay. And then the Brown County Fair, kind of same thing. We'll send out a Google document. We have, like we did last year, we're not staffing the booth at all hours of the fair. We're kind of staffing it during peak hours and then just shutting it down in the evening. And when it's, there are events going on because it's not very busy by the booth. So we'll also send out a Google document for that. For that one, we just ask that at least we want 2 people in the booth at a time, and it does not have to be somebody on the Human Rights Commission. It can be former commissioners, it can be family, it can be friends, anybody who wants to sit in the booth with you. So it should just be 1 commissioner and then anybody else who wants to sit in the booth. So we'll send that out as well. So if you have somebody that's going to sit with you, you can just sign them up with you. Questions about that one?
Did we finalize what we wanted to do?
not.
Okay.
No. So that would be, that was not on our agenda for the events committee. So yeah, that'd be something we want to look at for the fair, of like what kind of.
Yeah. Or National Night Out, I know that's before our next meeting. I don't know.
Yep. The National Night Out's after. The next meeting's
Is
the
it? Okay.
22nd. So
Okay.
it would be a quick turnaround for National Night Out, but we could manage it. It's just the parade, which was not what
We wouldn't do that.
discussed.
It's not- yeah.
Yeah, we didn't discuss that for
No,
the parade. so
that
it
wouldn't
should be
be
in there.
the right format.
No.
And just to make sure, we're talking like doing some sort of a survey on how we can.
Yeah,
help the
just
community,
using
right?
that time to get input from community members rather than just us providing information, them providing information to us on what they'd like to see or what they feel is missing.
Yeah. And we talked about too, like at the, at both, just even doing like possibly a little pin board of like, what do you think the hottest items or the most important items for human rights were? So we could do that. I wonder, I'm just trying to think what the easiest way to do that would be. I wonder if maybe we could look at, is there, we could put it on the events committee or look at, are there a couple volunteers who'd be willing to put that together? I guess are the 2 routes we could go.
How hard is it to get like a QR code for like a quick?
I don't think it's, I've never done it, but I don't think it's real hard.
You can build one in like Canva or something pretty
Yeah.
easily. Yeah. But then at that point, you would want to do a QR code that would lead to like a Microsoft form or something, right? With like,
Yeah, Google
Yeah.
form.
like a
Yeah.
handful of questions or something.
Yep.
Yeah. That part I don't know how to do, but I know how to make a QR code.
Yeah.
I think I know how to do a Google form, so that's easy enough. I
Okay.
think we just need to decide on what sorts of, how large do we want the scope to be? I mean, too open-ended is not going to be very useful because we want to see what are the highest priorities. And if everything's a priority, then nothing will be a
Nothing, yeah.
priority. So
Because there's a quick turnaround, it might be beneficial to have it be pretty open, and then we'd be able to hone in the future, like narrow it down and focus on one thing that was brought up for the next one.
So this is just information gathering
To see like
at large, yeah.
I don't know, like
Yeah.
just because it
Yeah.
is a quick turnaround too.
Yeah, I like that. 'Cause
Yeah,
then we can kind of,
that's
like you
fair.
said, gather a lot of information, kind of see what the community focuses on.
Yeah, I think if it's open-ended, some issues might come up that aren't included in the survey. So I think that's a good idea to, as a jump-off point.
So probably something like, what are current human rights issues that you see in our community? What suggestions do you have to, tackle those? Would you like to discuss this further, share your information or not? That could be basically it.
Together, yeah.
I can put something together on Google Forms and then send it out for feedback from you guys.
Sure. Send it to Lisa,
Okay,
and then she can send it out
okay.
through the email. And then that would be pretty easy. Once we have that, it would be easy to just make a QR code. So I don't think we'd need like a separate meeting or
No.
anything. We could just throw it together. Yes, it's a good call out.
Do you also want to have space for dialogue at these events so that we're having some,
Yeah, we absolutely
we're
could.
talking rather than just doing everything electronically?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I think that's a good idea. I wonder if we could do like have the QR code with the questions for people to fill out, but I wonder if we could do like a visual, like we kind of talked about, is just do a poster board and just like, list some things.
People can write on a Post-it note.
Yeah. And just stick it
And
on there.
stick
It'd
it
be
on there,
very
yeah.
easy.
Yeah.
So that would be easy to put together. Let's say I could work on that. Okay, I can work on that just as putting together a poster board.
Okay.
And then we can I'll maybe do the same thing as just kind of email out like thoughts I have for how it looks, and I'll email it to Lisa, and then we can just get feedback that way.
I think we could do the same prompts
Yeah.
on
Yep,
both.
and just stick
Yeah.
it. Yep, we could do that. I can make it look nice. Okay, any other questions about that? So we'll work on that. The Google Doc will come out for sign up separately, and then we'll get the items ordered. Same with the Brown County, we talked about the free fair. And then the South Central Minnesota Pride Fest Parade and Festival. So it looks like there is more information now at our last meeting. We did not have information on registration or anything. And it looks like there is not registration yet. So we'll just keep it on as something we want to talk about if we want to participate. We've participated the last couple of years. Hopefully by the next meeting, then there'll be more registration information, and that's not until September. So we'll have some time. Okay. Any questions on any of those? And that brings us to the Education Committee report. So the poster and essay contest, we tabled it from February 26th because we just wanted to discuss the last 2 years we have not gotten any entries. So we wanted to discuss options to revise the contest and encourage participation. I think we're kind of at the point where we need to start discussing that because we'll start coming into the school year. How do we want to do it? So any discussion or thoughts on that?
I know that I recently talked to a teacher who typically would be like an active participant in something like this, and the information was never passed on to her. She was not aware of it. So obviously something isn't getting lost in the distribution of the information that we dropped off. So
I think what we're doing is basically just dropping it at the schools and hoping that they're distributing it. So if that's not happening,
yeah.
and we talked about, partnering with the schools and seeing if we could come in and do a quick talk, do a little video, kind of just more engaging. Probably the first thing we'll need to do is just have the education committee meet and kind of come up with, I think we even need to figure out when do we want to do it in the timeline of the year. We'd always done it around MLK Day and just hadn't had block. Not that we can't do it at the same time this year if we have a different kind of tactics for advertising it, but just kind of deciding when we want to do it this year for sure. Other thoughts?
So are you thinking you want like a longer timeline for them?
Longer timeline and just making sure that they're prepared ahead of time, that this is coming, here's the information, this is the plan, this is what we're doing.
I was kind of surprised at the amount of high school employees I had who had no idea what Juneteenth was. Like, and I don't know if
Yeah.
it would spread awareness of it, but also be a timeline
Yeah,
a
That's
little
a
bit further
good-
out.
that is a good point. That is very true too. There's a lot of people who are not aware of Juneteenth and what it means for sure. Why don't we set the education committee to meet just so that we can kind of start talking about it so we don't get lost? 'Cause summer can be really busy, so it doesn't even have to be. I mean, if we have a meet like end of July, August, I'll have Lisa send. We can have Lisa send out an invite and kind of see who has time, and then we can set up a meeting and just to preliminarily start talking about what the plan will be, what we want to do, kind of timeline. Questions on that? Okay, then other business subcommittees, we reviewed this in our last meeting, but you can only have up to 4 people in a subcommittee. So we had too many people in the subcommittees, and all we had to do to fix it was we put everybody on one committee, with the exception of the executive committee, because the executive committee is just made up by the chair, vice chair, and secretary. So we just kind of moved it around so that everybody's on just one committee. And I think we have everybody accounted for. Yes. So after everybody reviews it, if that's okay with everybody, we would entertain a motion to approve the subcommittees for the rest of the year.
I would motion to approve the subcommittees.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
All approve, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion passes. And legislative update, I do not have anything. Would anybody else have anything that they're aware of in the legislative arena? Okay. And then the city council liaison is Casey. And she was April through June, and you didn't have anything additional to report? Okay. So then we need to appoint somebody for July through September. So you can either attend in person or just watch online the recorded city council meeting and just report back anything that would affect the Human Rights Commission or anything we need to be aware of, anything we need to engage the city council with. Do we have any volunteer? I don't know if everybody's done it. Has everybody done it?
Not me.
Questions about it? And you don't have to, but questions about what it entails. I haven't done it in a while either, so I certainly could. I'll do it. I'll do it for July through September. Okay, that brings us to current human rights issues. Anybody have anything that's not on the agenda that they want to bring forward? Okay, hearing none. That brings us to the date of our next meeting, which is July 22nd, Monday. With that, I would entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I motion to adjourn the meeting.
Do we have a second?
I will second.
Okay, all approve, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. And this meeting is adjourned. Thank you all.